Electric Fire 2 Hidden Chains Chapter 5.
I was ready to go off to the planet after a day. I had to carry a backpack. Stone packed me some food, a couple water bottles, a tent, and also the portal rings. I kept one in the front pocket of the backpack, and the other was in Stone's hand.
I would go with you, Shadow, but I still have tasks to do here. I need to prepare for Robotnik's return. By that, I mean fix up his machines and maybe write some stuff down.
I nodded before Stone closed his eyes as he looked down at the ring. He only had one chance to get the portal right, as in one chance to think of the right place for me to go to. If he failed, then there wouldn't be any way back. Lucky for him, when he dropped the ring, it showed a place where there was nothing but mushrooms. It was definitely another planet. I waved goodbye to Stone before jumping into the portal. Within seconds, it disappeared. Bad idea on my part for jumping in. I hit a mushroom hard and tumbled to the ground, or so I thought, but it was just another mushroom. Mushrooms grew on top of mushrooms in this place. At least the air was breathable, though it was humid and pretty swampy. I heard someone yelling far from where I was. It was hard to make out, but I could hear them. I lifted myself up. The backpack was able to withstand my fall. Nothing seemed to be broken as I stood up. I only hoped it were the same for the contents inside the pack. That was on my back. It wasn't heavy at all to me. For some reason, I was able to get up without staggering. I headed off towards the yelling. The first day there, I covered most of the terrain without a need to rest. One bottle of water was halfway gone at this point. Stone was right. It may be difficult to find Robotnik since he had been out here for a long time. He could be on the other side of a planet by now. This planet seemed to not have any other living beings on it, from what I could tell. Noises seemed to travel around. It was easy to hear yowling, but there wasn't a way to pinpoint which direction it was coming from. Since the sound would bounce at one point, I tried yelling out, "Robotnik!" After that, I heard a yell back, but couldn't make it out. I sighed a bit, unsure of what I got myself into. The days were long. It didn't seem like there was a moon on this planet. Yet there was something in this universe similar to the sun back on Earth. It kept this place very humid.
I could hear something in the distance from what seemed where I had come from. The quill was glowing still, but it seemed to be glowing a bit weaker now. There isn't a power source out here. I had thought there was, since I had used a device to scan the area for a power source, but it only led me to more mushrooms that were letting off a bit of energy. Turned out they were just letting off some spores into the air to spread more mushrooms. I decided to head back the way I came, feeling some hint of hope inside me to go back to that miserable planet again. Perhaps Stone had found a way to build a portal on it to grant me a safe return. Not that he was into technology, he was more fascinated on my skills that he barely tried to follow. He was a genius with a lot I'd kill for one about now. I had to recharge the quill. It needed a power source now. Seems I hadn't run a good test on this quill. The machine had said it had unlimited power. But seems this planet may be taking that energy away, or maybe when that wretched hedgehog. Well, there I go again. I started to head back the way I came from. I recognized the path since the rock I had tossed would often break pieces off the mushrooms, so it was easy to find my way back. After about 2 days, I saw a figurehead leaning against a mushroom. It seemed they were digging through a backpack, or perhaps putting something away, maybe. As I approached, he started to look familiar to me. Was it that blue hedgehog? No, it couldn't be. He was most likely on Earth, taken by that Tom guy. This had to be a different hedgehog. The other stood up after noticing me.
Robotnik, right? Stone sent me to find you.
I only nodded before approaching him more to get a better look. He definitely didn't look like the other hedgehog. This one was a black hedgehog with red stripes and with a small patch of white fur on his chest. The hedgehog then opened the front pocket of the backpack and pulled out a ring before throwing it. A portal appeared on the other side. Was exactly the place I wanted to be. It was Stone's, my partner.
You first. These portals don't last long.
I followed the hedgehog's orders. I forgot to mention I didn't have the rock with me at this point. I left it when I was returning to where I had came from on the planet. The hedgehog kept his distance as I knocked on the door. Stone answered it. He didn't look the same much, but after he saw it was me there, he quickly hugged me. I know what you're going to say. You didn't miss me, but I definitely missed you, partner. It felt nice to be embraced. I admit definitely needed it for as long as I had been alone on that planet. I could feel the hedgehog's gaze on us. I just pushed Stone away. So I suppose the hedgehog is with you then? Took a glance back at the hedgehog before replying.
Sort of, sir. Well, I pretty much saved his life, and well, he decided to help bring you back afterward. It's been very lonely without your company, and well, the agency never partnered me up with anyone else after you disappeared. The hedgehog, well, his name is Shadow. Oh, I also promised him that we wouldn't run any experiments on him. After all, he is one of us now.
I looked back at the hedgehog known as Shadow. I couldn't exactly promise I wouldn't run a few tests, though nothing painful at least. He did rescue me, so it is only fair. Maybe having a hedgehog on the team wouldn't be such a bad idea.